Okay, so until now, we have been running all our protected tests on the Chrome browser, right? So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can run your tests on a different browser, and also we'll see how you can run your tests on multiple browsers, right? So if you go to your contour.js in your Protractor project, right, you will see this configuration which we have been using. We also added for HTML report, right? Similarly, we have the specs, which defines our spec.js, right? We have the framework, which is the Jasmine framework, and then there is capabilities, right? Which is passed over to the WebDriver instance. Now, in this capabilities, you will notice the browser name is Chrome, and that's where it picks up the Chrome WebDriver instance, right? So if you want to run it on a different browser, you need to pass this capability to the WebDriver instance. And if you want to run your tests on a different browser like Firefox, the only thing you need to change is the capabilities section. Okay, so the browser name, instead of Chrome, you can change it to Firefox, right? So once you do that and you save your conf.js, now this test would run on a Firefox browser instead of a Chrome browser. So that's the only change we need to do, right? In order to test this, I'll just simply launch a terminal and run this conf.js, right, through Protractor. And that should launch a Firefox driver, and also it should run our tests on the Firefox browser, right? So pretty simple. Okay, so this is how you run your tests on the Firefox browser. Similarly, you can do it for other browsers or as well if the WebDriver supports it. Okay, now it's not only the browser name which you can specify. If there are other properties like for Chrome or Firefox, you can also mention them here, right? So if you want to run your test on a safe mode, you can add that option here. So many other things you can add depending on the browser options which are available. Okay. Now, as I said, if we want to run our tests on multiple browsers, right? So it's a very common scenario whenever you are executing automation test. If you want to run it, test it on different browsers, how you will do that in Protractor, right? So for that, there is something called multi-capabilities, right? Now this, instead of a JSON element, it's a JSON array, right? So, and inside this, you need to pass different browser names. Okay, so the first one is say Chrome, and then the next one is Firefox, right? So two browser names I'll be passing in this multi-capabilities. Now, one interesting thing about multi-capabilities is even if you have capabilities defined in your contour.js and you have multi-capabilities, the multi-capabilities will override the capabilities properties, right? So by default, it will run your multi-capabilities, or the multi-capabilities will be passed over to the WebDriver instance instead of the capabilities, right? So now it should run all my tests on two different browsers, okay, on multiple browsers. So before that, just a small change. So since it's an array, right? So you need to surround it with curly braces, both the elements, right? It's an array of elements. Okay, so let's now run this. Okay, before that we have to save, and let's try to run this. As you can see, it is telling in the logs running 2 instances of WebDriver, right? So first is the Chrome. It will start the execution, and then it will also launch a Firefox, right? So both of them will run one by one. And then you can test your Protractor tests in both the browsers, right? So similarly, you can have any number of browsers. So just define it inside the multi-capabilities. So done, pretty simple and effective, right? So as you can see in the logs also, you can easily verify that it started the Chrome browser, and then it also started the Firefox driver, right? Okay, so similarly, you can also check your reports. There will be 2 reports which will be generated, right? Because we have run 2 tests using the 2 browsers. So go to your project, go to report section, and you will see 2 reports. Now both will be almost similar unless you are changing something in the reports. It's just that we are running that on 2 browsers, and depending on the pass or failure on the browsers, you can view the reports accordingly. Okay, so this is how you can change your capabilities and multi-capabilities and run it on different browsers and multiple browsers in Protractor. It's pretty useful whenever you are writing any automation scripts and want to run your scripts on different browsers. So in the next module or in the next video, we will see how you can run your tests on headless browsers, right? So until now, we have been running it on the conventional browsers. In the next video, I will show you how you can run it on a headless mode.